Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Cherie. We will be starting in about 5 minutes. So I'm just going to let everyone get the chance to sign on. I know sometimes it's hard to get to the 12 o'clock period, but yeah, I'm just going to wait a few more minutes just to give everyone a little bit of grace, and then we will begin. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hello and welcome. We're going to get started here. So welcome to our weekly Lunch and Learn. My name is Cherie, Marketing Manager with Flamel.ai, and today we are talking about how to build a social community. So if you missed our Lunch and Learn last week, that is live on our YouTube channel. Just type in Flamel.ai in your search bar, and we are the first. We are the first group that is populated on YouTube. So make sure that you watch last week's webinar, which was trying to find your target audience for social media, which is the basis of today's topic, which is how to build a social community online. So once you find your people, how do you keep your people, basically, and the different outlets on how you can keep, how you can be present with your community on every day online. So this is what we are suggesting today. So let us begin. So first thing that we are going to talk about is the importance. I always feel like the importance of any of these topics with these webinars is always important, but the importance of building a social community online, also known as like an internet community, web community, is who are your members? Like, who are you interacting with primarily, and through the internet. That is the overall gist of the importance of building that community and just being able to house people together who have common interest and who feel heard within, either if it's in a brand community or just like a networking community. People want to feel seen. They want to feel seen and feel like they're being heard, basically. So a little background or a little history of social media communities. So back in like the early 90s to, I want to say like early 2000s, was like the boost of the internet, which became accessible for a lot of people. So more and more people found it easier to communicate with one another, and that was how like AI chat, not AI chat rooms, but like AOL chat rooms and other forums were presented, and that's how uh, these communities started to form. Now we're in the second half of how these communities are being formed, which is through social media platforms. And we'll get a little bit more in depth on what platforms are best to use when it comes to who you are servicing as a community. But the benefits of having an online community, specifically for businesses, brand loyalty. So, building a community that fosters loyalty and turning customers into brand advocates. And then feedback loop. So feedback loop is something, sorry, I completely forgot the music was on. Apologies. Here we go. Um, so brand loyalty and then feedback. So having a loop, feedback loop, direct feedback from customers helps with product development and service improvements with whatever you are trying to sell to consumers. It also helps with increasing sales. So these engaged communities often lead to increased customer retention and sales. And then content creation. Being able to have user generated content is sometimes more value, well, not sometimes, I feel like user generated content nowadays is more valuable than some marketing assets that are created by brands. It's just that one-to-one peer-to-peer type of content that people feel like are more trustworthy when it comes from a person they don't technically know, or like a person that seems genuine in their content. um, and then for it benefits for individuals. Networking is beneficial, connecting with people who are like-minded, or who are in a professional setting. And then learning also. So these communities often become like a source of resources and a knowledge base. So it's kind of a hub for learning. And then it offers a lot of support as well. So find emotional and even some technical support from different peers who are facing similar challenges. And then it offers opportunities. So many people have found job opportunities or collaborations or partnerships through these communities as well. And then just some real world examples that I want to highlight with specific online communities are Sephora, Airbnb, and Fitbit. So Sephora has their community called Beauty Talk, which is a community where they highlight makeup artists or makeup enthusiasts and share reviews, looks, and tips and advice. Airbnb has a host community. So if you are a host on Airbnb, you are able to have access to this community where people are sharing different tips, or asking questions, and they often get updates actually from Airbnb, so directly from Airbnb's brand. And then Fitbit, their community is heavily based on just fitness goals and achievements in different challenges, which also helps with fostering a sense of camaraderie between people. Um, and then choosing the right platform. So some of the platforms that I suggest people to use when they are forming communities are Facebook groups, Reddit, Discord, and then there are some other platforms as well for smaller communities. I think Facebook groups is one of the largest platforms for these community-based centers. This is ideal for pretty much most businesses and brands to offer different tools, different content. But if you are someone who is looking for these platforms, Facebook Groups has different integrations as well for their services. And then Reddit is a collection of different communities that is diverse. And I say diverse because they have some interesting topics. If you never dived into Reddit's threads, they are quite interesting. So they they offer different topics and are great for pretty niche interest and have open discussions. And then Discord, it was intentionally made for gamers, but has expanded to be more of like a real time um, live chat, some voice chat, and then video communications as well. And then other platforms. So I would suggest like Slack being a platform of communication or community. I know some brands who have just like a smaller focus group through Slack where they just send questions to their focus group and they communicate that way as well. So Slack is mainly used for professionals. And then is Clubhouse still a thing? I don't really know, but if it is still a thing, I added it in here and said that it is more of like an audio based and discussions board type of community building. And then LinkedIn groups is for your everyday professional networking platform. And then some factors to always consider. These are very high level. So, target audience, type of content, and level of moderation are required. So, target audience, again, I went a little bit more in depth on how to find your target audience and the different segments on how you can group your audience into, but just overview. So, having different age groups and demographics might prefer one platform over another. For instance, like younger audiences might want to feel more connected with the brand. So brands might go more down the route of using a Discord, while other professionals who want that more professional sense in a networking environment like to use LinkedIn. Geography, it also plays a factor in it. Some people or some platforms are more popular in certain regions and in countries as well. So keeping that in mind of like where you are located or what this specific group is tailored to, and then interest. You want to make sure that everyone in the group or in the community have similar interests. So niche platforms might cater to specific interests. Some examples are Behance, which are for designers, and then GitHub, which is for developers. So just be mindful of who you're talking to. Then the type of content. So what this goes into the platform. So what type of content do you want to produce? Is it text-based or is it multimedia? Platforms like Reddit are heavy on text, while Instagram is more image-centric and YouTube is video-focused. And then you want to go into, is it real-time versus asynchronous type of content? So is it real-time interactions that you want, or is it like a discussion board or a forum where it kind of just builds up over time? And then public versus private is is the platform that you want to house this community going to be public or private? There are benefits to both. Public is obviously to the general public, but there are risks involved when you do have a public community, especially if you are sharing information that you don't necessarily want to share, or just feel like you want to make sure that there are some type of boundaries or rules and guidelines in place. And that leaves me to the level of moderation. So this goes into like open platforms versus curated, which allows different discussions with minimal moderation, while other platforms involve like a heavy hand of curated content. And then tools and features. So like Facebook groups offers advanced moderation tools, while others might require third-party integrations. And then your community size. How large of a community are you looking for? It might also require that specific platform to handle. I know, again, Facebook groups is one of the easiest and most accessible ways, but when you are looking into specific platforms, you want to make sure that they can house all these people. And if not, then you might need like a third party integration to help with that. And then engaging and growing with your community. So, some strategies on how you can engage and boost your community are Q&A sessions. So, hosting Q&A sessions regularly while with either like experts or even some community leaders. So, um, which helps provide direct value and interaction. And then polls are are a quick and easy way to get feedback and understand preferences, or just engage in just like a fun way. Challenges. So having either like a monthly challenge, weekly, bi-weekly, you can set the cadence on that. But it can help boost activity and creativity, and is like a friendly competition, which boosts engagement. And then recognition. I feel like recognizing and rewarding active members can motivate other people to become more engaged within the community. So considering like having member of the month feature, or like a badge for top contributors, or even giving them some type of physical reward. So, like a gift card, or like a discount to whatever product or service you provide. Those are different ways that you can engage with your community. Um, Here are some tips for promoting your community: collaborations, partnering with influencers or similar communities to tap into their audience. I feel like that is probably the best way of promoting your community online. And then content sharing, so encouraging members to share content on their own personal profiles. Events, hosting any webinars, workshops, or meetups can attract new members and provide value to existing members. And then testimonials, so showcasing, different testimonials or success stories from community members, and just sharing real stories that can resonate with potential members and show the value of joining this community. And then my three takeaways that I would want everyone to take away from this lunch and learn is value and authenticity. Um, I feel like at the heart of everything, at the heart of every thriving online community, is just having genuine value. Um, Whether it's through informative content, supportive interactions, or shared experiences, members should derive real benefits from their participation. And then authenticity in communicating with the people who are in the community, through the content and community management can help with the trust of the people. And I feel like communities thrive when members feel like they're in a genuine space, free from any like ulterior motives or even like heavily being marketed at. Nobody wants to be market at. Nobody wants to just have ads thrown into the community. The community is supposed to be a safe space. Um, and then takeaway number two, I would say engagement is a two-way street. So successful communities are not just about broadcasting your message, but fostering conversations, engaging with members in acknowledging their contribution and create opportunities for them to interact with each other. So like again, going back to those strategies that I had suggested, having those Q&A sessions, polls, and challenges helps with engagement and keeps people active. And then last but not least, my third takeaway would be the adaptability is key. Being in the digital world, it's ever changing. Like it's never going to be the same. What's today won't be the same as it is tomorrow. And so the needs and preferences of a community of the community's members are going to change as well. So like asking for feedback, consistent feedback, monitoring like I say the temperature of the community and where everyone is at and how everyone feels about either the brand, the service, or the product. And then being ready to adapt any and all strategies when something does change. And I feel like as your community starts to grow, challenges will definitely arise from moderation in issues to platform changes and just being able to be flexible and responsive and you being engaging and communicating with your community um, will resonate and I feel like will ensure that your community is there with you through it all. um, so yeah, and that is all that I have for today. It was kind of short and sweet. I just kind of want to get to straight to the point of what today's topic was about. I feel like once you figure out your target audience, it's how you lead those people into these groups. And one way that I would say or suggest you do when you do find that target audience is inviting those people who are starting to engage with your content online to these other platforms for a more community base. Um, and with those, like also add different incentives as well. That's how you kind of like lead those people to either like a different platform. So if you're like on Instagram and you're popping on Instagram, I would say the first couple people that start following you, DM them immediately and say, thank you for the follow. Would love to add you to this group or would love to get your feedback on this. Or even like if people start to buy your products, try and find those people and invite them through like an email marketing campaign. There are different, I will say there are different avenues and different journeys and strategies for each platform or each service through marketing to get these people to these community based platforms. But like once you start to form a connection with people online, you want to kind of like house them as quickly as possible because those are your first advocates. Those are the people who are going to go to bat for you and who are going to be honest with you. But yeah, that is all that I have for today. Um, this will be on once once I have this live downloaded, it will be on our YouTube channel within 24 hours. So by next day, tomorrow at noon, you'll have access to this. So if you came in a little bit late, it's okay. We always post our lunch and learns on our YouTube channel which is just Flamel.ai. And yeah, that is all that I have to say for today. Next week's, I will say next week, our lunch and learn is, what is our lunch and learn? So today was how to build a social community. And then next week, so same time, same place, um, the lunch and learn I am going to cover is how to build content pillars, which should be fun, I feel like. So yeah, that will be fun. I feel like content pillars are something that we're kind of steering away from, but I'm going to give you my little twist on how I come up with content pillars. Um, so yeah, that will be a fun one. We're getting more into like the fun content, the fun webinars, lunch and learns. The first three were like the base for any social media strategy. So figuring out your brand's voice, how you're going to talk to people, how you're going to communicate to people, and then finding your audience, which was last week. So who are your people? Who are you trying to sell to? And then today, building those communities out. And now that we have kind of like a base of who we're talking to, who we're going, is now we're going to try and form those content pieces to those specific target audiences. And then, I mean, after that one, it's only up from there. How to use each social platform, because each social platform is different. And then the following week, how to build a content calendar, a full month's worth of content calendar, um, how to how to create good content. That's another one. And then also how to repurpose content. So stay tuned. Um, the links for all of these webinars are live, so you are able to register to any of them. So yeah, if there are no questions, I appreciate everyone who came out today. I'm going to give you 3 minutes back of your time. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, an amazing rest of your week, and I shall see you next week. See you later.